That is what society is about nowadays. Unfortunately, it neglects men. It does not see men. It has this stigma and a bunch of bullshit surrounding the fact that men are shouldn't be emotionally open or emotionally available. And I'm here to tell you today that all of that is a bunch of BS and explain to you guys 5 reasons why men feel lonely in today's society. What's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of Purpose of Pleasure with your host, Alex Payne. And today's episode is dedicated to, I would say, primarily my fellow men. This episode is dedicated to a rising factor of why men are feeling lonely today. Hence the name, Why Do Men Feel Lonely in Today's Society? Now, before I jump in, I want to tell you guys a quick story. And before I tell you the story, please click like, share, subscribe, because I'm going to give you some value and send this episode to other fellow men who you believe can extract some good value from this. Let's dive into this. The story that I want to share with you is this. I was at my local Toastmaster chapter meeting this week, and this week's meeting was dedicated to, we sort of adopted a child for the holidays, and it was a 17-year-old girl whose mother unfortunately passed away from cancer a few years back, and her father recently committed suicide, so she had no parents. But I was also told that she's going to be present at the meeting, but her brother. I was like, okay. And we had some gifts set up for her. The topic, the theme of the Toastmaster was about, inspiration and overcoming adversity and encouragement. It was a great meeting. We all gave speeches. I gave a speech. I dedicated my speech to encouragement and adversity and going through hard times. But I noticed that the whole entire meeting was focused primarily on her, although her brother was there. Now, the girl's only 17 years old. Tough age to lose both parents. I agree. Sad, unfortunate events, and I'm glad she was there. Very nice girl. But nobody said anything to her brother, who's in his mid-20s. Nobody almost really acknowledged him. Everybody was focused on her. And to me, that was sort of heartbreaking. My question was, at the end of it, I was asking myself, I'm like, why is it that nobody was paying attention to him, to her brother? And it dawned on me that that's society nowadays. That's what men fucking go through every single day. That's what I've gone through. That's what you, my fellow men, must be going through. That is what society is about nowadays. Unfortunately, it neglects men. It does not see men. It has this stigma and a bunch of bullshit surrounding the fact that men shouldn't be emotionally open or emotionally available. And I'm here to tell you today that all of that is a bunch of BS and explain to you guys 5 reasons why men feel lonely in today's society. Let's jump into this. Number one factor, and these are not in the order of importance. These are just the things that I thought about, right? Number one, men feel lonely today because there's a huge decline in close friendships. There's a huge decline in close friendships between men. I mean, let's think about it. When I was growing up, right, in the 90s, early 2000s, I'm an 80s baby and 90s kid. We didn't have social media like that. We didn't have it. We didn't have cell phones. At least me, living in the post-Soviet Union Republic and growing up there, we weren't exactly rich. So I didn't have no cell phones around me. We didn't have no video games, stuff like that. So we spent time with each other. We spent time outdoors. We spent time doing things. We spent time bonding with each other shoulder to shoulder, which is very important because I think people confuse the fact that women are able to bond like this. Talk to me, sweetheart. Let's discuss this. Men are not the same way. Men bond like that, shoulder to shoulder. We do things, and while we do things, we're able to communicate. That's a dynamic. So if you can't extract information from a man or you're talking to him, doesn't mean he doesn't give a shit about you. We just have a different dynamic. Like, I personally am okay. I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable talking about my emotion, my feeling, and talking to another man or a woman. Not every guy is like that. Some of the guys that I coach are not even close to this way. They will try to avoid me. They'll try to do certain things, but it takes me time to warm up to them and it takes me time to build that strong bond. So understand that men are not the same as women. It's hard, it's tough for us to sit there face to face and communicate about our emotions and feelings. Something to remember. What I'm trying to say is this. There's a decline in friendship because Man, we stopped fucking caring for each other. We stopped caring for each other. I mean, we're tribal creatures. We need each other. Each one teach one. Okay? There's a reason for that. As a man, first, your duty responsibility as a man, as a leader, heal yourself. Make yourself a better man. Understand yourself better. Prioritize yourself in order to heal yourself and become better. And when you get there, reach out, help the next man, and then the next man, and then the next man. And teach those men to do the same thing when they heal themselves. Each one, teach one. Okay, healed people heal other people. Broken people break other people. So, men stop caring for each other as much as they used to. And if you ask me, why do I think this is happening? Well, number one factor is fucking social media. Online. Let's be fucking real about it, guys. I mean, look at the statistics. In the last 10, 20 years, statistically, people spend like 50 or 60 or more % of their time on social media. That's fucking ridiculous. Can you believe it? We spend half of our life on staring at this fucking phone screen, sucking and scrolling and doing absolutely not a damn fucking thing with our lives. But we neglect other men around us. We neglect our brothers around us. Our brothers are committing fucking suicides, drinking themselves to death, or falling to depression. What are we doing? We're on the phone. We're screen sucking. Stop with this bullshit already, I swear. Look at the other men around you. Like you, my listener, my fellow men. You might be looking at me like, well, you don't know what I'm going through. I might fucking not know what you're going through, but guess what? We all have shit that we go through. We all have something that we experience. We all have our battles, our challenges, our unfortunate traumatic events. We all have fucking something that was given to us when we were children that traumatized the shit out of us. And the cards that were dealt, they're unfair. But guess what? You can either be the victim of your circumstances or you can be the victor. And as a man, it's time to you grab your balls and you work on yourself. And instead of spending time on social media or online, spend time with the men around you. Dedicate a little bit of your time. I'm not saying hours or day. A little bit of your time. Check on your friends once in a while. Send them a text. Send them a voice memo. Because you have no idea what your brothers might be going through. You have no idea. We're all battling our demons. We're all struggling with something. We all have families, duties, responsibilities, jobs that we hate sometimes, traumas that are unhealed, vices. So check in on your homies, guys. Once in a while, spend some time with them. Okay, it doesn't have to be all the time, but just let them know that you're there. Okay, that goes a long way. Number 2, this one, pretty obvious. Societal expectations. Right? These bullshit, toxic societal expectations that, like a traditional masculinity, for example, that came from my father and other men in my family, that encourages you that emotional maturity is not something men should do. And by emotional maturity, I mean sitting there and talking about your feelings. That's called fucking emotional maturity, guys. Let's face it. Emotional maturity is being able to sit there and talk about your goddamn feelings. And not fucking screen sucking and jerking off and eating disgusting, unhealthy foods and drinking and doing stuff that's bad for you, that's leading you nowhere but down a deep, dark rabbit hole. Okay? That's what emotional maturity is not. Emotional maturity is sitting there and expressing your emotions. It's seeking therapy. I said it. Seek some goddamn therapy, boys. Come on, guys. It's about time you start working on yourself. You don't belong to a generation of men who don't seek therapy. You didn't breach no fucking Normandy beaches, okay? You didn't have to go to war. Look, I mean, you live in 2024. How hard do you guys have it? How hard do I have it? I'm not breaching the beaches of Normandy. I'm not going to war. Thank God I'm blessed to live here, to sit at the comfort of my studio. I mean, I've done my fair share of shit. I've been a cop long enough. I've chased bad guys. I've fought. I grind into my business. But hey, I'm blessed and grateful to sit here and record this episode in the comfort of my own studio. So guess what? I don't have an excuse not to seek therapy. And I've done it for years. I've sought therapy. I've done the work. And that's why I'm here today, comfortable enough to tell you things that haunted me for years. Like I was adopted. Like I felt fucking lonely for 20 years of my life. That I battled all these demons, vices, sex addictions, alcohol, the pornography, all that kind of crap. I'm comfortable telling you guys all this shit. That's me. There's nothing you're going to tell me about me that's going to hurt my fucking feelings. Why? Because I spend time doing therapy. I spend time healing myself. I spend time working on myself. And now I'm teaching you guys that it's okay to do all this. As a matter of fact, you must do all of the above if you want to be a better, more happier, more genuine, kind, successful human being. So drop all these societal expectations that men don't talk about their feelings and emotions. Fuck all that. Okay? We do. We do. The difference is that we're extremely selective when and with who we do it. Because oftentimes, and it happened to me, I've opened up to a wrong woman and that shit was thrown in my face. But guess what? Not an excuse for me to do it with my wife now, because one of my ex-girlfriends did that shit to me. Okay, I can't use the same excuse and tell my wife now, you know what, she's done that to me, so now I'm not going to tell anybody about my feelings and emotions, although you're my wife and one of my children. That makes me look like a fucking idiot. Okay? No. Heal yourself, get over it, and then open up to the woman you love. Number 3, digital versus real life interaction. Here's what I mean by it. Technology nowadays has made it so easy for us to get this instant satisfaction from the comfort of our phone, our hand, from a phone. It's right here. You can be anywhere and you can be on your phone scrolling. And although technology supposed to bring us together, and it did, and it does, right? Like before, when I used to talk to my family and my relatives in Russia, you would have to be like, you gotta buy minutes, then you gotta pay for data, then you go somewhere. Now I go on WhatsApp or Viber or Telegram, and I'm on the phone with them, just like I can call my homie next door. So it's fantastic. But guess what? Technology has also done to us. It separated us. It eliminated real person, real life interactions. Okay, technology does not provide the same depth of connection and communication as real life interaction does. Okay, there's no emotional fulfillment. I mean, how much emotional fulfillment are you gonna get from talking to somebody through a screen or text message? I absolutely hate having serious conversations or uncomfortable conversations or even arguments over text messages, because you have no idea what the other person is feeling or what their emotions are. That person can say one thing, but when I read it to me, it sounds like a whole different thing. I assume they might be angry, or I assume they might be joking in a serious situation, and vice versa. I might say something, and they think I'm fucking around with them, and it's not fair. So, communicate with other men in person. Look at them, listen to them, pay attention to their body language, their eyes, their shoulders, where their body positioning is. Are they looking down? Are they looking at you? Are they excited? Or their voice is down? Are they talking to themselves and they're loud and they're not loud? That's what real life communication is about. That's how you build a bond. That's how you do something with fellow men. You work on a car, you build something, or you're working on something and you bond. You bond. So try to eliminate communication via technology and use more and do more communication via real life interaction. Goes a long way. Help other men feel less lonely. You will feel less lonely about yourself in your life as well. Number 4, life transitions happen. They're inevitable. Some have it worse, some have it not as bad. But life transitions without proper support are tough. Men go through divorces, they lose their loved ones, they go to relocation, they experience death in the family, traumatic events, whatever it is. If there's lack of a good support system, guess what? It's hard. It's hard, boys. It is absolutely devastating when you're going through hard times in life and you don't have anybody to talk to. You don't have anybody who can relate to you. You don't have anybody who's empathetic or who can lend you their shoulder or a little bit of their time so you can communicate with them. It's tough. So what that creates is it creates a challenging times. It makes it hard to adapt and rebuild your life because there's nobody out there to support you. So it's important to be a good support system for other fellow men. And it's important to have a good support system in your life so you can get through this challenging, dark, painful times of adversity in life. It's It's not sometimes how many friends you have. You might have one friend, but it's a great fucking friend who can listen to you, who checks up on you, who doesn't let you fall down on your ass and stay there. Because everybody falls on us, but a good friend will not let you stay there. A good friend will tell you to get off your ass and fucking move forward. Okay? That's what friends do. But when you don't have that, you feel lonely. You feel depressed. You start going down this deep, dark rabbit hole, and bad things happen. Bad things happen. People, become alcoholics. They resort to drugs, and sometimes even commit suicide. So when you go through tough times in life, when you go through hard transitioning, be able to adapt and be able to have some good support system by your side. And you be a good support system for other men around you. Okay? I know we all have lives, we all have responsibilities, we all have businesses and 9 to 5s and children, etc., etc. But hey, maybe instead of staring at TV or playing video games or watching fucking football on a Sunday or Monday or Thursday, whatever the fuck day of the week the football or basketball is on, hey, check in on your homies once in a while. It goes a long way. All right? Last but not least, this one I think is very important. I saved it for last. Take notes on this one, fellas. Mental health stigma. Mental health stigma existed, exists, and unfortunately will exist because men are too fucking stubborn. And we have a lot of men out there who refuse to adapt and who think that their shit don't stink and who refuse to be emotionally mature. Real men don't cry or seek mental health support. Fucking hate that phrase. It's such a bunch of bullcrap. Real men do cry. Real men do seek support. Real men do seek therapy. Okay? Period. Because how else are you supposed to become a better person? How else are you supposed to heal your trauma? How else are you supposed to heal your inner child and get over whatever the fuck you need to go get over? Like for me, it was the fact that I was adopted. For 20 years, 20 fucking years, I carried that burden in me and I couldn't tell anybody. 20 years, 2 decades. And I thought if I would tell my mother that I know that I was adopted, she's going to have a heart attack and relationship would be ruined. And who am I to do that to her when she's really old age? Right here. I was creating all these demons in my head every single day. I would wake up with it. I would think about during the day and I'll go to sleep with it. Not to mention other stuff that I done in my life that I regretted for a long time, and I had to seek therapy in order to forgive myself, forgive others, and heal. So no, all this crap that real men don't talk about their emotions, it's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? Because if you don't talk about your emotions, guess what happens? Okay, you start drinking, you start womanizing, you start playing video games, you start escaping, doing pornography, spending time with promiscuous women, doing all kinds of dumb shit. And ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I've done all that and more. Okay? I thought I need to be this badass cop that doesn't talk about his emotions, that just needs to make money and and have sex with all these women, and I'll be good to go. I'll be a badass. I was not a badass at all. I was a weak motherfucker. Doesn't matter how many women I had. Doesn't matter how many gangsters I chased. I was a weak motherfucker. Internally. On the outside, I was a badass. Okay, I was showing no chinks in my armor. But on the inside, I was a weak little boy who hasn't healed himself and who's still crying internally and regretting things and feeling like, he's broken. So when I finally stripped down all this armor of bullshit and I start finally fixing my trauma, working on myself month after month, year after year, that's when I healed myself. That's when I became stronger emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, in all aspects of life. That's when my life really changed. That's when the vices start going away, the partying, the drinking, the having sex, the pornography, all that stuff, the toxic people, the toxic relationship. And that's when the good things, family, business, self-development, discipline, strong athletic body, all that came. Okay? Why? And when, you may ask, is when I started working on myself. I started healing myself. I started healing that little boy inside of me who was hurt, who was damaged through physical abuse, through domestic violence, through drugs and alcohol and the shit that I saw growing up. Okay? And then finding out that I was adopted. I was that broken little boy, okay? I was not the man that I thought I was. But through healing, through therapy, through understanding why I am the way I am, through reading books, listening to podcasts, through active work, keyword, active work. That's how I healed myself, and still working on myself every single day. So if you want to actually take a productive step towards healing yourself, like I did, and not being the scared little traumatized boy with a gun and a badge and a ability and a permission to take someone's freedom away, when in reality I didn't know what I was doing with myself. If you want to be a good man, a healthy man, an accountable man, a man that others value and respect, you want to be a leader, you have to be a leader of yourself. Yourself, first and foremost. You got to lead yourself. Lead yourself out of darkness. Lead yourself out of despair. Lead yourself out of all your vices and bad habits. Lead yourself towards God. Lead yourself towards self-development and improvement. Lead yourself towards being a better man, a better father, a better son, a better husband. All those things. You need to lead yourself. When you lead yourself, when you heal yourself, when you work on yourself, when you improve yourself, your life will change. People around you will notice. Your loved ones, your wife, your woman will notice. She will let you organically take the lead. Your children, okay, will notice. They will lead you. Your employees, your followers, they will follow you. Because you're going to be a real man. You're going to be a strong, confident, healed man. And that is worth every therapy session, every sleepless night, every book, every episode, and every hour and second of work that you do to heal yourself. So go out there, find a therapist, find some good books that I mentioned earlier, and start working on yourself. Okay, read the book called Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Great book. Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. I believe it's by Lindsay somebody. Great book. That's step number one. If you're a nice guy, you have a nice guy syndrome. Unfortunately, a lot of my men coaching clients have a nice guy syndrome, which is absolutely horrible. And it's ruining society and ruining men nowadays. Read a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Fantastic book. So those two books is a must. And another book, good book, is Hard Times Create Strong Men. I think this book is mandatory for all boys in high school or even in middle school. Read those three books. I guarantee you, your life will change. And there's a plethora of other books like The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and etc. So I can make a whole list. But those three books that I mentioned, Adult Children, Emotionally Mature Parents, No More Mr. Nice Guy, and Hard Times Create Strong Men, those are the three books every man must read, learn, study, and implement. Now, I hope you guys got good value out of this. I put this down on paper and I talked about this today because this is important to me. I've done this. I coach my coaching clients, the guys that I coach, on this with all 5 of these, and they all struggle with all these just like I struggled with all 5 of these. And my goal is here to provide you as much value as I can and become better at it and more effective at it, and to give back, because there are men out there and there are still men out there like my partner Kevin, like my coaches Bedros Koulian, Chris Barth, and all other and multiple other guys that helped me, that overcome and become the man that I am today. So it's only fair that I give back. And when you guys heal yourself, the only thing I ask from you is this: heal yourself first, and when you do, help other men around you to heal themselves. Fellas, that's all I got for you today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share with other men around you. Please do. Not because I need followers. I can use some new followers, but because I want other men to know about this. So stay safe out there. Work hard on yourself. And God bless. See you next time.